Hi, I am Menka and I'm in conversation with Atish, and we are both co founders of Coherence. I'm so excited to be here and share this space where meaningful conversations happen outside the classroom. I hope you feel the same, Atish.
Absolutely, Menka. Really looking forward to this conversation, which I hoped I had when I was 20 years old with someone like you. So, Menka, tell me, you started your journey when you were 20, 21 year old in sales in Dubai, and then moved countries from Dubai to India, India to Nigeria, being an educator, teaching students, training teachers, training principals, and you've seen both sides of the world, being an educator and also a corporate trainer, right? Training employees and founders and CEOs. So, what is that gap you think you have observed, and what do you think the skills a school should impart in a student, and what is a corporate looking at when it comes to hiring employees?
Very interesting take at finding out the gap between what we are doing in the academic setting today and what is the real world. I think the young professionals coming out of school and universities are brilliant. They are technically capable. They are willing to take risks. They are experimenting. They are curious, which is great. So the gap is not that they don't have knowledge. Knowledge is never a problem. Workforce readiness is what we need to work at. Employers are looking at uh, people coming out with a lot of skills, which it's a very overrated thing that you need to upskill and you get these certifications and this is how you get a job and this is the salary scale for this particular job profile. But what we are missing and what we see the difference between a school setting or a university setting and the employee setting is the structure, the culture, the behavior. So when we are talking about a structure, for example, a school is a very structured environment. The exams that you're giving, there is a syllabus, there is a content that you need to learn, there is a grading criteria, there is a rubric. You know what is expected from you. You need to learn, you need to deliver, you get your marks. There are steps. If you follow them right, you come out as a high scoring student. Whereas when you're going and working with somebody, they want it to be more your work, more original. They want you to go and do research. They want you to gather data. They want you to analyze the data and present it that okay, now you need to find a solution or you need to take a decision. So it's not as structured. You need to find your ground and amongst that chaos. You're not prepared for that, right? Another thing is when we are working in a school, the problems also that we are solving in an academic setting. For example, if you're in a university and you're doing marketing, the marketing team will give you problems related only to marketing. But when you're going out in the real world, your decisions, the solutions you give, it has a dominoes effect on the other departments as well. So it's not the silo that you're working. You have to work looking at the sales department, the accounts. Are you taking care of all the compliance? So your decision is affecting all the other departments. So you need to learn how to work in an ecosystem, which may or may not happen in all academic settings. And lastly, when we are writing 8 pages of essay type questions in school, we get marks on that because we've got a lot of time to explain ourselves in detail. A busy executive will not read your report, which is like 10 pages long. So you need to pick what is important, the key data, which we call as data-driven storytelling. You need to present data in such a way, not that you're telling the boss that here is everything that I can do, but telling them that here is what you need to know to take a decision. So that's the difference. That's where schools or colleges and universities need to train children, put them in that setting, show them how do you concise information, how are you able to work under pressure, how are you able to build relationships, network, collaborate with people. It's not about everything I need to do to answer the questions correctly. What is it that I'm going to do to solve problems under pressure while working with everyone so that the whole ecosystem thrives? That's what we need to do.
Wow! Oh my God! Why I never got this information when I was just doing my university? Because this makes so much of sense, Minka. Working in ecosystems, because when we are in school, uh, the structure, the system that is built is basically you come to school in the morning, you go on taking different lectures, English and science and then history, and your brain is fully focused on only doing those things, because at the end of it you will be gauged on memory, not on application. You need to memorize, and person who is really good in memorizing will get good marks, but by the time he is outside of that system, he will not thrive or she will not thrive. They have to unlearn everything, and they have to relearn the complete corporate world. And today it is changing so drastically. Everything, the technology is changing, and we need to have the qualities of resilience and understanding how to match those jigsaw puzzles.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Just to end it with an example, a student who probably goes in a business setup may be able to explain what a SWOT analysis is. But when he's asked to, find a solution to a problem and analyze a situation, he's not able to do it. He's not able to put all that knowledge. That's why I said it's never a lack of knowledge. It's just that direction. It's all that you have learned in theory. How are you putting it into practice? And the problem may not be the same, because it's an ever changing world, right? It's a dynamic
Absolutely.
world. So the problems which you are facing in school were more linear. Here you are in a chaotic kind of a situation where it involves even emotional part of whatever is around you. So your emotional intelligence, your empathy, your act can have a reaction on someone else. So that is what you need to take care of when you're
Absolutely.
working.
That reminds me, I was just having a conversation with one of the student who is building her startup. She's 15 years old, and she asked me this interesting question. She said that, what is that one concept that you learned in your school or college or university in theory, in business, which failed completely when it came in real life? And it took me back in time, and I gave her the answer on empathy mapping. So empathy mapping is one of those concepts which completely fails when we go and apply it in real world. For example, I have a concept, and I need to validate that concept. I need to talk to people. I will talk to them. I will understand what are their pain points, what is the solution that I'm building, and is this solution making sense? Are they ready to pay for it? How long are they ready to pay for it? Then we take it as a holy grail and we write it down, and then we go and build a prototype. But it is not a one-time job, because change is the only constant. Everything changes. The mindset of that person can change after 1 week, after 2 weeks, and your whole concept can be different. You need to be adaptive. You need to talk to these people over the extended period of time. It's not one-time job in design thinking. You need to talk to them even after your prototype is done, even after your MVP is done, even after your product is ready. Because these people that you have done empathy mapping for can be your first customers.
Right.
Yes, because they understand you from the foundational level.
Yeah.
They know your product, they know who you are, they know what problem you're solving, and they become your competitor analysts. They can give you understanding of the market. They can tell you that, you know what, there's another company who's doing this similar
Right.
thing. So these are the concepts. The adaptability, it fits completely and beautifully whatever you said into this, and we need to be adaptive as we go ahead and this.
Right, that's the need of the hour. We are seeing ourselves, I think we are one generation who's experienced so many things going on in your geopolitical situation, your, people dynamics changing, demographics changing. We've witnessed all of that. And the whole idea is just to pivot, adapt, pivot, which also brought us together, because that's where, I'm so happy that we were on the same page and we had the same vision, and we started Coherence with the same idea,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So I think what we are doing right now is a great way to move ahead. What we have done is pivot. We have adapted. We are practicing what we are talking about, and we've seen the result. Never feeling that we've not been able to, feeling stuck, not being able to do what we had set out to do. If this didn't work, we reflect, we move ahead with new plans with the same excitement. I think the word is passion and excitement. This is what the generation really needs to understand, that if I am passionate about something, I find out what is it that excites me. My passion, my excitement is going to surely lead me to success in whatever I do.
Absolutely, I totally agree on that, because passion is really important to do what we do. Because from the time we wake up out of the bed, we should have that surge of dopamine that, okay, I will conquer this world, because what lies ahead is my passion. I am solving a problem. I'm doing something that I really love to do. But there's so many people who suffer. They're like, I don't love my job. I don't know what I'm doing. So it's imperative to identify what you love to do, and you need to be aware, and you need to observe within that, okay, this gave me this motivation, this gave me this happiness. Do I need to continue this? Am I good at this? And as you mentioned, I'm also so glad that our journeys came together at Coherence, and
Yes,
yeah,
of
we are
course.
building this.
Yeah. And I think a very strong message out to all the learners and all the people who are coming up with their new business ideas, and everybody wants to grow, everybody wants to succeed in different fields, is keep going and don't lose that initial passion. Which somebody gave me a great advice. Whenever you are in doubt that whether my idea is working or not, go back to where you started. What was the vision of your company or the whole idea that you started with? When you go back to your vision, that's where it will give you that push again, and it will motivate you that I set out to do this, and this is what I need to achieve. So even if it's about upskilling, don't just upskill yourself for that one career option, because everything is changing all the time. You need to develop those basic skills which will help you fit in anywhere.
Absolutely.
So I feel be like that jigsaw piece of the puzzle, which actually fits in wherever you're trying to fit it in, because that's the world. The world wants you to have great communication skills, leadership skills. I may be going to any industry, but these are the basic skills I need to have to adapt anywhere, to fit in anywhere, like that jigsaw piece of puzzle.
Absolutely.
So open your mind to learning. We are still learning. There's a lot we have learned today about ourselves, about what the world is looking at, and keep growing. That's it.
Absolutely. I had one last question. It's very important to have passion, but what do you do when your passion changes? One fine morning you wake up and you're like, you know what, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. I am gravitating towards something different. So how do you have that shift, and have you experienced that in your life before?
Yeah, of course, many a times. Sometimes I'm running to the gym because I want to, work on my weight, and I'm very passionate about looking, healthy and looking fit. There are some days that I think I need to take care of my, snoozing time, and I need to relax. I don't need to push myself too much. Some days so it's very okay to feel different. It's very okay to, not just follow that one thing that you want to follow. In fact, the more you are turning passionate about different things, you will start learning those things more. So if I suddenly am passionate about reading, I will read more books, which is going to again add a lot of more knowledge and information for me. If I suddenly get up and start wanting to cook, it is going to help me because it's going to make my family happy. So don't get stuck that this is the only thing I like to do and I will do only this.
Nice. Testing the waters also.
Yeah.
You're checking.
So I am
Yes.
So growth mindset. This is what growth mindset is. Even if I am not good at something, but I like doing it, go upskill, learn, practice, master. Those are my 3 key words.
Beautiful.
Learn, practice, master. I think everyone should do that. Is that way you can learn about anything and everything in the world, because you are always open to learning, and there are new things which you're learning every time about you. One very good example I'll give you, coming out of my comfort zone, is getting a very short haircut, which I was not very
Looks really nice on you.
which I was not very comfortable doing, but till I experimented, until I didn't do it, I didn't know how it's going to look. So I went out there, I tried new things. It doesn't work. You always have your hair which is going to grow back. So not a problem.
Freedom. That's freedom right there. Thank you so
So
much.
let's
Thank you so
wind up.
much. Yeah, thank you so much, Menka, for this wonderful conversation. I'm really looking forward, excited, and looking forward in terms of so much of passion and ecstatic state of mind to change the world.
Let's go out and do it, Atish.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.